We would have had to do that anyways, I guess. But that's okay.
Big error. Big, big
Big Ozark.
connection. Big Ozarks. Are you the older brother or is your sister older?
Um, I'm older, and then I have a older half sister and half brother as well.
But with your real sister, are you overprotective? Do you tell her who she can and can't date?
A little bit when she was in high school. Yeah, there was a little shithead kid that me and my friend Jordan gave the scare to.
Jordy?
No, Jordan Corn.
Did he eat a lot of corn?
Hardly ever.
Wow,
I think it
that's
messed with his poop.
it messes with everybody's poop. Really, I
I had corn
think.
today. I'll have to update it later. The poop
Yeah,
chart. I'll
please.
share it with
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. So yeah, she's worried about him being overprotecting. He forbids her from
Wow,
seeing
90
John ever
straight days
again.
of diet. Yeah, what a change. No, joking.
Jeff summons Dragon Sound to fight at the train depot. So this is Jeff and the other band and the guys. But he and his gang, once again,
Monkey noise.
every time they do this, his gang are badly defeated by Dragon Sound again. And it was only three of the five band members this time.
They weren't at full strength.
It was
It was
three
their
on it was 3 on 40.
it was their unplugged set, and they still kicked ass.
Yeah.
They
And the
can't
fighting
lose.
is actually decently choreographed with more skilled martial artists.
Hmm.
Um, like
Is
I
there
said,
any
Mark.
is there any from a guy's watch the movie perspective, uh, a little a little boring or a little like untested that these guys don't have to like come back and win a fight after losing. They just kick ass all the time.
They just kick
You know
ass
what I
all the
mean?
time. Yeah.
There's not really a real challenge for them.
There is, yes, there is. It's coming up.
Okay. A low point.
But these thugs, these band guys, nah, they're
They get fucked
nothing.
up.
And the cops show up though. They stop the fighting, everyone flees. And Yoshido, the leader of the ninjas, he's just hanging out with a bunch of bikers at a bar. It's like a biker bar montage.
Cool.
They're just drinking,
We like
having a good
biker
time.
bars.
These just real life bikers that I said that they paid in beer. Um, they're all
We
just
love biker
drinking,
bars.
having a good time. When Jeff and his beat up crew show up to kind of celebrate, but also like, these guys fucked us up, man. You need to bring in the ninjas.
Oh shit.
And
The motorcycle ninjas.
some guys are in a parking lot at UCF watching Dragon Sound load into the car, so they follow them to a pizza restaurant. They're
A
bringing in
pizzeria.
they're bringing in the ninjas. So Jeff, he's trying to interfere again, but this time instead of like taking on the whole band, they're just gonna kidnap Tom, the lead guitarist and singer of Dragon Sound, while he parks the car and everybody else goes in to order pizza.
Because he's the weakest Taekwondoer.
Maybe?
I
I
think
don't
so. I
know.
think that's canon.
That's canon, yeah. And so
He's a yellow belt.
they're just like torturing Tom. They have him tied up to a cell tower at night
Cool. Night and
when
poking him and shit.
the remaining band members stage a rescue. Although I'm not sure how they found out where Tom was and which cell phone tower he was at. That never was covered, but they get there.
Like good detectives.
And during this rescue, they slowly take out guy after guy, and they're going to take out ninja after ninja eventually.
Nothing can
Um,
stop him.
but this is where they, instead of like Taekwondo, like self defense, this is where they just start killing guys. Like Mark gets this like metal bar, hits this dude in the neck, and like you see a gash in the neck, and it's just like his carotid spewing blood.
Cool. Murder.
They
One of
went
the
for
tenets of Taekwondo.
they went for some of the real like cheesy, gory
Need to
stuff like
murder.
carotid, and then they end up beating everybody up. They
That,
find and free Tom, and then they accidentally killed Jeff, Jane's brother.
no! She's an orphan now.
He falls off like the third or fourth level of the cell tower to like 40 feet while he was fighting Mark and John simultaneously, falls to the ground and dies. And Yoshido hears about his death. He's so angry, sets out for revenge with his band of ninjas.
They're on the hunt.
Well, they're on their
So Jeff,
motors.
maybe you shouldn't have been fucking with the wrong crowd.
Yeah,
Worried
that's
about
right.
sister.
Um, and so they're gonna come on their motorcycles. They're coming quick when Jim finally receives word that his father has been located. So the band, they pull their money together. They got like $300. They buy him a suit. And like the guys, the bros are just like ecstatic for him. It's just guys being guys,
Oh,
happy for their friend.
good vibes. Just
Yeah.
committed murder.
They've committed murder yesterday. Now they're suit shopping.
Natural
And
progression.
um along the way to the airport, because he's gonna fly to DC to see his dad, Yoshido and his gang of ninjas. They surround Mark, Jim, and John. The other two band members and Jane were left behind at the house. They chase them into a park where they do battle.
Ooh, and the ninjas win this time.
A little bit. Because right away, Jim is sliced across the chest by a katana and from a ninja. So he's in like critical condition. He's like bleeding out
Yeah, he's gonna die.
into a stream. And he screams for so long. It's like this is where they use a lot of slow-mo in the film. It's like, ah!
Mm, distorted. Makes you really feel for him.
I was screaming like that, and Zoom just says, "Are you playing music?"
Well, I couldn't hear the end of that either, so I don't know what the hell's.
Oh,
Maybe
so
Zoom automatically cuts that shit out.
yeah, it's telling me right now, set up professional audio in audio settings. Oh,
That's why I can't hear.
it only wants talking.
I wonder. Yeah, that's probably to not get like copyrighted.
Probably. And so he's screaming, he's dying. John and Mark just managed to like kill all of the ninjas and run to Jim to
Kill.
keep him alive. Yeah, kill. They do get hurt along the way. John gets like hit a couple times. He's bruised up. He's
Throwing
sliced up a
stars.
little bit.
Yeah.
And some of these shots of like John and Mark killing ninjas in slow mo and stylized to show like shooting blood and agony. There's like Foley sounds just like way over the top. They had fun with this. I'll tell you that much.
Nice. Hell yeah.
But one of the remaining ninjas, like the last remaining one, he runs to Yoshido, who's sitting on a treetop tethered bridge or something, in like a
Very business
treehouse.
lesson.
He's like, "Oh my god, uh, there, everyone else is dead. Help us, help us!" So he's like, "I will help you." So he grabs a sword, cuts the ninja's head off clean right
Ooh,
there,
wow. That takes some force. There's a lot of bones in there.
and then goes to find Mark. So we get Yoshido on Mark, the leader of the
Wow.
ninjas versus the leader of the
Ah,
band.
there's a bug on him.
Was it a good bug?
I think it was like a stink bug looking thing, but fucking nature, man. I heard that in the Ozarks alone, there are over 95 billion different species of animals.
That can't be true.
I think that's true. Different species, 95 billion, and most of them are land animals,
That can't be true.
vertebrates.
That can't be true. We're not even counting
Life
bugs.
gonna find a ways.
You're just counting land mammals. There are 95 billion different land mammals.
Well, vertebrates, birds and stuff. I saw a cardinal earlier today.
I've never seen a cardinal.
They're all out here in the wild. It's not just plus plus he elected the Pope.
Hey,
Bird.
that's good. So you get single one-on-one combat. Mark and Yoshido. They are fighting back and forth. They've got blades, they've got pipes, they're just doing fisticuffs when Mark
Taekwondo.
kills Yoshido by stabbing him
Yay!
with Yoshido. Yoshido was playing a smooth one. After he pretended like he didn't have any more weapons, he pulled a small dagger out of his sock or shoe, and Mark senses him coming up behind him. He steals it from him and stabs him with his own hidden blade and
Blade for
kills
blood.
him and the ninjas and stops the narcotics and cocaine trade in Florida.
Rock and roll wins, Brandon.
And so now at the hospital, Jim, he survived his katana slice as well.
What?
And
Oh,
his
not Jeff. Yeah, Jim.
yeah, and his father shows up to the hospital to finally reconnect.
We're not orphans anymore, Jim.
They aren't. They've never been orphans because they had a family all along as a band.
You still have a family without parents.
Also, there were too many J. They just had Jim, John,
Jeff,
Jeff.
Jim, Jane, Joe. Yeah,
There was Jane, Joe, Jim, John, and Jeff, and
that's
then
right. That's a lot of
Mark and
James.
Yoshido.
Yoshido.
And then after that, they reconnect and they're gonna go off together. And then on the screen, in quotations, it says a classic, maybe martial arts quote. Probably not. It sounds more like
There he is.
maybe Buddhist or a Muslim quote, just on the screen to end the movie. Only through elimination of violence can we achieve world peace.
That doesn't seem like the message of the movie, but yes.
Yeah, they killed a lot of people, but that is the end of the movie.
Oh shit.
A puma,
A puma, a cougar, a mountain lion.
one of them, a panther, a lynx,
A
and
cougar, a puma, and a mountain lion are all the same thing, Brandon.
yeah, I know.
Did you know that?
I did.
I call them yellow bears.
You called them mama.
Call them mama.
Okay, so that's gonna end the movie. Should we get into some quiz? Hiya! I just realized the best fact name we could have ever done, and we didn't do
What?
it. Everybody
Welcome
was
to my
kung
facty.
fu facting.
Uh, yeah, you're right.
We still
Those
have
facts were true as
we
lightning.
still have the little panda fighter coming up at some point this season, so we
That's a
could
good
save
one.
it for that.
Let's save it. Put it in the bank.
Two
We'll bank
different
one of them.
two different martial art karate based films this season. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, quote,
I love
you
Kung
didn't
Fu
watch
Panda's
it.
been on.
So,
Don't no quotes from me. And I protested.
I got 8 quotes. First one from Jack. Um
Is something wrong?
what do you mean?
Only eight?
Only 8 quotes.
Did
Yeah.
something happen?
Nothing happened.
Okay.
Jack goes, he's in there every night with his damn gang selling that
Ooh,
stupid cocaine.
damn them.
Yeah. I was like, what is this delivery? Mark, barely comprehensible when they find out that Jim has been looking for, excuse me, that Jim has been looking for his father, just with broken
Yeah.
English going, I didn't know you had father. I thought we were orphans.
I didn't realize he had such a heavy accent.
Oh man, it's super
Oh, I'm
heavy.
gonna love that then.
Tom, lead singer, when he gets jumped by a bunch of thugs, he just goes, or when they all start to carry him away and he's just being dragged away, he just goes, well, this doesn't look like the welcome wagon.
Quite
uh,
not.
um, a dude in the gym sees a rival band leader come in with bandages all over his head after they've just been beat up by Sound Dragon. And this dude in the gym just goes, man, you got to stay away from those Girl Scouts, man.
Good line. Good
Roasted his
line.
ass. Um,
My leg caught on fire briefly.
when the cops show up to the train depot after the fight and scare them all away, they drive up and they see everybody go away and they're just like, where did they go? The other guy's like, I don't know. And the guy goes, looks like another gang. And he says, hey, we need to get these gangs out of our central Florida. And he's like, yes, that is right. Let's go. And I was like, what?
Very matter of fact. Good
Clunky
pump of
ass.
speech. Exposition. Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck this is.
Let me try. I'll help you out.
This is Yoshido, I think, talking to one of the bikers in the bike montage. He just goes, "Hey, give me a beer and a kiss. Give me a kiss." I was like, "What?"
You wanted a kiss. Did they give him one?
I don't think. Oh, they did. They did give him a little kiss.
A little kiss.
Um,
A kisslet.
Jane comes into like Jeff's secret hideout with all of his thugs. She just goes, "Guys, have you seen Tom anywhere after they kidnapped him?" And one of Jeff's guys goes, "We haven't seen anyone since 1962." I was like, "What? You haven't seen somebody in 26
Inconspicuous.
years?"
Inconspicuous.
You're looking at her right now. What do you mean you haven't seen anyone since 1962? And then the last one, when the group of them are driving to the airport to drop Jim off in his suit, they see a bunch of motorcycles nearing them. And without hesitation, he just sees motorcycles. And John goes, "Oh, ninjas." And I was like, "You know that
Ninjas.
they're
Not
ninjas?"
Hell's Angels. Yeah.
Oh, ninjas. So
I
those are
do
my
hate a motorcyclist, though.
those are my 8 quotes.
I've never met one I liked. I don't think. I guess maybe there's some exceptions. I don't like motorcyclists. I
Usually
think
me
they're
either.
missing they're missing parts of their brain. Um, we're
So
guessing. I'm
we're
guessing.
you're guessing, and you're up like 3-1 or something, or like 1,000,000 to 17,000 or something. So, what do you think critics gave this on Thermometer?
I don't believe they did.
They did. Seth wins, and that one was worth 8,000 points. So now it's 1,000,000 to 25,000.
Okay.
He's catching up.
Next one's only worth one.
Critics gave it a 68%.
They gave it what?
A 68%.
Whoa.
Critics. Well, what about the people?
They love it to the tune of a 71%.
Hey, you win. Too bad this one was only worth one and not 8,000. You dug yourself that own hole, Lucas. You idiots. The people gave it a 64%. So very in line with the critics. 68 and 64.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
How about IMDb Metascore out of 100?
41.
Seth wins, and that one was worth 9,000. That was a 56. So now it's a
Pretty
million.
close.
A
Can't give me
mil.
that.
It's now 1,000,001 to 34,000.
Okay. Next one's worth all the marbles.
Audience score out of 10. Oh, a coughing attack. Oh my
Um,
goodness.
6.7.
You get all the marbles. It's just. Oh wait, no, never mind. I read the wrong one. It's a
Oh,
5.6. Seth
no, I get none
wins.
of the marbles.
No marbles. So, critics gave it a 56 and a 68 for a 62. Users gave it a 56 and a 64 for a 60. And before we give our ratings, I'm going to find out where this falls on our list. Because honestly, a 5.6
That's up there.
for something like this isn't that bad. I mean, we have so many movies in the 5.6 range, but honestly, our views are like or our
Yeah,
ratings are like a bell curve, you know?
you're right. Of course, as
This
we should
comes
be.
in at the 86th worst movie we've done.
Right in the
Movies
middle.
just worse than this include Dude, Where's My Car?
Bad movie.
Christmas with the Cranks,
Bad movie.
Jack Frost,
Good movie.
Hotel for Dogs,
Good movie.
and Earth Girls Are
You
Easy.
had. I don't remember that one.
We kind of liked
What's
it.
what's her?
Remember Jim Carrey and Jeff Goldblum and
Oh, that was a kind of a good movie.
yeah, kind of liked it. And the movie's
That's
just
right.
better than this. Kicking and Screaming,
I've seen so many movies. That's a good movie.
New Year's Eve,
It's a good movie.
Good Luck Chuck,
It's kind of a good movie.
Spy Kids,
Spy Kids is great.
and R.I.P.D.
Shit movie.
So, with that being said, what are you giving it based on
I
this podcast?
I think I might update this later. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to guess at what I think I'll rate it later on. I
Okay.
think based on all this that I'm going to give this a 7.3, the Seth classic. It seems
Yeah.
like for this movie. So I will update it. I will insert my score later in the YouTube video once I have watched it and sort of like a post-reactive, sort of
Oh,
anti-postmodernist structuralist sort of thing.
shit. Wow.
7.3 is my prediction. What about you, Brandon?
I was ready for a 2.0 or a 3.0 or
Yeah,
something. It's a
he's ready.
6.4.
Okay.
It's bad. It's pretty bad,
It's bad.
honestly. The quality isn't there, and there's a lot of plot, like why the band stopping the trade and the narcotics trade doesn't even need to be in there, and the ninjas and all that stuff. It could just be about a band of orphans,
With the music,
and the music and the taekwondo is pretty good, and you can tell that there's heart. There's a sort of charm to this
passion,
film and passion.
an earnestness.
There's so much earnestness to this. It's wild. And I really had a fun time watching it. It's only like an hour and 25 minutes, so 6.4.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. I would bet I might change mine to 6.7 prediction because we're always even closer than I think. But I don't know. You said James Wynn. I might like it more. Who knows?
I've got three critics.
Big Rog?
Roger Holbert.
Ah,
I know. I put this first, Roger Holbert versus
you
Roger
bastard.
Ebert at the South Florida Sun Sentinel.
Oh, local.
He says, for a lack of a better synopsis, Miami Connection is a cocaine war rock ninja motorcycle gang film with aspirations of being an action adventure musical. Oh, and YK Kim simply cannot talk. That's true. Like I
Sounds
said,
like a good movie.
yeah. Rob Humanack at Slant Magazine says, love it or hate it, it's doubtful you'll ever forget it. And it may just force you to redefine your definition of what constitutes as good cinema. 3.5 out of
Hmm,
4 stars.
love it. A fellow B movie lover.
And my last critic is
Fuck yeah.
David Schmader. What a dumb name.
No, you're right. That's ridiculous.
Um,
This
at
guy's
the
a fucking dweeb.
David Schmader at The Stranger says, to say that Miami Connection is bad is a crushing understatement. Miami Connection is so bad it makes Tommy Wiseau's The Room, look like wild strawberries. But out of this tragic mess of failure and incompetence, a distinctly sweet spirit emerges. Its source is the cumulative gameness and good sportsmanship of everyone involved within Miami Connection, which is drenched in a goofy joy that is simply contagious.
Hmm. Maybe not a dweeb. I believe we call that earnestness.
We do call that earnestness. It's
Earnestness.
it's the earnestness est.
Yes. If you could be earnestness ask, you're doing all right.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, like
Earnestness
that.
est esque.
Ask Esquire.
The echelon of
Royal.
earnestness esques. And then my users, I've got 6. I don't think I've got any returners. There wasn't a
Well, I'll
ton.
tell you.
First
If
one's
you did.
by Fanfinga.
Yeah, this guy's a returner.
No, they say Miami Connection is a trashy movie that got everything, and I mean everything, that make the 80s era awesome. A rock band on the ride to success caught up in a string of cocaine and motorbike riding ninjas, so they have to fight the way out using Taekwondo, which is the best martial art in the world according to this movie. The acting is horrible with some of the most absurd lines that you need to watch to believe, and a series of awful but over the top fight scenes really make me wonder how the hell people did not like this movie when it came out in 1987. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I guess it would be, yeah, because it's so far removed from its actual release date. It'd be interesting to
Yeah. My
give it
next
10/10.
one is by Nitro 72.
Oh, returner.
No, they said so bad it's good. With its overly complicated slash difficult to follow plot, nonsensical cutaways and scene breaks, uninterrupted song performance breaks, and laughable fight sequences that every now and then again work surprisingly well. Hashtag Nitro's Movie Challenge. 4 out of 10.
But he liked it.
Also, I wonder what
Nitro.
Nitro's Movie Challenge entails.
Probably watching movies that may be good or bad or movies and
Yeah,
rating.
whatever they are. Next is by Ramirez 13-2.
Oh yeah. Fellow former Mookie nominee, this guy.
No, he says it's a beautiful mistake of a movie. Horrible acting, as over the top 80s Miami Vice ripoff flash as you can load on film, and yet I loved every moment. 8 out of 10.
I see a through line emerging.
But what about lemon underscore magic?
Yeah, this guy's new.
They say
First ever review.
it has the feel of something written and acted by a bunch of amateurs who wanted to star in a movie about themselves and their friends. But I have to admit, there's an earnestness and a positive
Whoa.
message throughout the movie that makes Miami Connection quite likable, dot, 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 in a silly and half-baked kind of way. And while the movie wastes a lot of time in a pointless cul-de-sac scenes with the band members hanging out, the energy level is usually pretty high. 3 out of 10.
Ah, earnestness. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I mean, it wasn't the earnestness esque,
Yeah,
but
but it's Chekhov's earnestness.
yeah, it is. My penultimate today is by C. Fosteresque.
Ooh, good name. And he's a returner.
And they say, under the right conditions, this can be the exact film that you need. The concept of ninjas versus drug dealers is compelling enough, but the dialogue and narrative path
Yeah.
pays homage to something like Lynch or Fellini, some
No.
real
Lynch.
bizarre statements and avenues of character development.
No.
Some real unintentional art is in this film. I didn't realize
Agreed.
it would keep having an 80s band I didn't realize it would keep having an 80s band performing on stage with references to the plot, like some Greek chorus. This director did their homework. I will revisit this one again, probably in the same condition, but I gotta take someone else with me. 10 out of 10.
Ooh, fucked up. I think Lynch only had like three movies out at that point, so I don't know if they're necessarily paying homage to Lynch. Maybe the forebears of Lynch. Jodorowsky, maybe.
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 But I like the review.
It's a good review.
And my last review is by J Ford.
Returner.
No, J Ford 83879.
Uh,
And they say this movie is an absolute masterpiece of acting, of martial arts. You really get a feel of what it's like to be a ninja. I sat down to watch this with my girl, and 9 months later, I became a father. 10 out
wow.
of 10.
Some good verisimilitude.
Whoa.
Verisimilitude. How do you pronounce that word? Verisimilitude? I
Versimilitude.
think it's verisimilitude. Verisimilitude?
Versimilitude? Where's that syllabic stress on that?
Verisimilitude. But yeah,
Versimilitude. But yeah,
good verisimilitude.
that's gonna end it this week. Do you think you will recommend this film?
I probably will, Brando. I don't know quite yet, but I bet you bottom dollar I
I
will.
I bet you will.
I bet you will on a Tuesday.
A Tuesday.
A Tuesday.
Bloody Tuesday. I'm recommending two.
Oi. All right then. Oh shout.
And what a surprise it was. I think this is gonna fall into yet another one of our hidden gem kind of movies.
Which is why we do the show, Brando. We find these gems, right? We love
That's exactly why we do the show.
that's that's the crux of the show. We love to laugh, we love to talk, we love to sing,
We love
but really
biscuits
we love discovering new movies that have been lost to time.
and biscuits.
And sure
And
Billy.
sure, Billy. Yeah, yeah, we knew where that was going. So thank you for joining me from the woods in Missouri. This has been great.
This is weird. No Pumas yet.
No Pumas yet. Thank God.
Fuck!
Next week we're watching a film that got like really popular on social media. I kept seeing small snippets on like an Instagram or a Facebook reel, and then all the comments would be like, "What is this movie? What is this movie?" A 2022 independent film called Fall, where two people are stuck atop a
That's
TV
right.
tower. So,
Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing shit about that.
yeah. So
It's a good movie.
that's gonna end it. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
The Beekeeper.
Yeah, we didn't keep any bees. You're
Sir
right.
Billy's Jason Statham.
And now Miami Connection.
Gadoosh.
Got douche. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Question for you.
Mhm.
since you might not be on next week's with fall
Yeah,
and or I guess this weekend's with fall, and then potentially
yeah,
next week's, which was supposed to be Alex's B day.
yeah.
I'll probably move Sharknado
Okay,
instead and then restructure around because I feel like you want to be on the little panda fighter and you
of
really
course,
want to be on Speed Racer.
of course. My movies.
Yeah.
That would
Okay.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you
Oh,
can you script it up in time?
well, this weekend is fall, so we're good.
Okay,
I've got that one almost done already. So
okay. All right, sure, Billy, sure, Brandon,
Charbelly, you have fun
sure,
in Missouri.
Lucas. I will. Good luck in your endeavors this week.
Thank you. Choir, 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 choir,
Sing your little
choir.
heart out.
Oh, I will.
Love you, Brandon. See you later.
Bye.